Most of the games has a physics simulation. If you want the players to move, flip, fall, fight, or even to retreat, you need to use a physics simulation. In this part of our course, we're gonna focus how to learn the Unity engine's physics basics. You can see here that we have 3 barrels suspended in the space. If I want the barrels to fall, I will hit the play button, and using the physics engine included in the Unity, the barrels will fall down. Let's give it a try. As you see, the barrels are still suspended in the air. Now let's try to fix it and add a rigid body component to our barrel game object. With the rigid body component applied under the default settings, we should see those barrels fall and simulate in the place. Now you can see the barrels falling in the scene. Let's try to do something else with the physics. We have 2 barrels with a mass equal to 10 and another third barrel with a mass equal to 1. Let's hit the play button and simulate. So the 2 barrels doesn't affected by the other barrel, and the reason behind it was the mass. Now let's go ahead and flip the values. Let's hit the play button and simulate. Now the 2 barrels are affected because the third one is much heavier. Now let's speak about the mass. The mass in Unity is basically the weight of an object. It's the amount of stuff in the object itself. Scale the object or even change its scale has no effect on the mass. Now let's try to scale one of the 2 barrels and see what happens. You will notice even though we change the scale of an object, it will not affect it in the simulation. Drag. Now let's speak about the drag. The drag is the way of simulating a resistance of an object. Now let's change the value of the drag parameter and test. You will notice that the barrel falling slowly because the game object is affected by the air resistance. It's going to fall much slower than normal. Changing the value to 0 means allowing the object to fall based on its default setting. Now let's speak about the angular drag. It's very close to the drag parameter, but it is the air resistance affecting the rotation speed of an object. If we change the value to 100, you will notice that the game object will not change rotation after collision. It's going to slide across the scene. Now let's flip the values and set it to 0.05. You will notice it's going to rotate based on the collision angle. Gravity. Pulling the object down by force, which is set up on the project setting. To modify the value of gravity, go under menu, edit, project setting, physics, and here you can see the value of gravity is set to -9.8. You can change the gravity value and even orientation from here. If we eliminate the gravity, you will notice that the object will still on its Y position in the air. It's just because we eliminate the gravity. Now let's put the gravity on and let's hit the play button. Let's set the gravity off. You will notice the engine will still simulating the fall. Now if you want to stop the object in mid-air, let's hit kinematic. By hitting play and turning it on, the object will stop in the air. Kinematic means that the object is no longer used by the physics engine. Now we have been over the basics, how to use the physics under Unity 3D. In the next tutorial, we're gonna see how to manipulate and how to work with the ragdoll and how to work with joints, colliders under Unity. Thanks for being a part of our course.